If you've been experiencing pain in your lower back or the back side of your hip or a lack of core stability, the bird dog exercise is one of the most commonly used exercises to strengthen the low back and get the cross crawl rotational stability in your core. However, a lot of people are doing it in a way that adds more compression in the low back, or they're not actually engaging the core to work with the stabilizing muscles on the back side. So I want to show you some of my most important cues to make sure that you're getting the most out of this exercise. So the bird dog, if you're not familiar with this, is this simple quadruped position where you raise the opposite arm and opposite leg up at the same time, and you're trying to limit any sort of rotation in your pelvis and your spine. However, a lot of people do this and they are hyper extending the low back by allowing the belly to sag forward or rocking the pelvis up, which just compresses back here. And so the very first thing I want you to think about is, what are we doing in this quadruped position before we even go up? And so we're going to create a neutral spine by tucking your tailbone down, going to that posterior pelvic tilt, making sure we're not compressing the neck by tucking the chin down, elongating the spine, and then we're going to engage our core with an isometric squeeze and breathing. So I want you to think about squeezing the outside of your hands out, then squeezing your knees and your hands towards your belly button in order to get your side body and core engaged first. Now we're going to take big belly breaths into that space. So taking a huge breath in, breathing in your back, belly, and side body, and then holding that space as you exhale, pulling the belly button towards your spine, getting that squeeze, and then again breathing out against it. So you should feel expansion in your side here as well as the lower back as you are breathing. So I want you to make sure you're breathing like that the entire time, which is going to limit extension in the low back and limit that compression. So now that we have that squeeze, we're breathing like that, we're going to raise opposite arm, opposite leg up at the same time into full extension, pushing that heel away from your hip, raising the hand away up towards the ceiling, and then taking some huge breaths in, squeezing the hands and knees towards each other to get our core engaged as well. We can come back down, limiting any rotation within your spine and your pelvis. And again, coming all the way back up. You can do this slow and controlled if you need to, getting full extension, big breaths in, and all the way out. Next, I want to show you one of my favorite variations to get a little bit more glute engagement and backside of your shoulder. So if we go all the way back up again, opposite arm, opposite leg, then we're going to go into opposite direction squares as we're in this movement. So we're getting control of the glute and hamstring and the backside of the shoulder. We're again making sure not to hyperextend in the low back. We're controlling our breathing. We're squeezing our hand towards our elbow, and we're taking big breaths in. If you're like, Dr. Jordan, I want another step, show me what it's all about. I want you to grab some weights, and then we're going to do this with weight as well. So same thing, same concepts, big breath in, neutral spine, squeezing everything towards the midline, and then you're going to raise that leg up and arm up, but with weight at the same time. And in this position, we can go into repping this out, making sure not to hyperextend in the low back, or you can do little pumps where you're getting some muscle activation on that back side of the body. And then we always switching opposite side, getting some motor control, breathing big, getting our entire core to work with our low back so that you're creating some more stability within your spine, your pelvis, and your hips to give you a better quality of life.